Waka waka waka, what's up, and welcome back to the channel for yet another FC Finch Eaglemoss review. And today on the table we're going to take a look at the official Starships collection number 15 from way back when. It's a throwback. We are looking at the Nova class U.S.S. Equinox NCC 72381, as seen in the two-part episode Equinox. One of my actually favorite episodes of Voyager. Both parts of them are really good. If you haven't seen it, definitely highly recommend. And very, very cool. This ship was like the what do we call it? The opposite side of the coin. If Voyager had been subjected to all the hardship and the no writer redos and whatnot, and it's spontaneously repaired. So this is kind of the other side of the coin that we got in the series. And of course, we're going to review this little ship today. And unfortunately, I have to report that this ship does have some problems. We're going to get to that, but first we're going to start off every review like we do with the magazine, and I have it right here. So let's bring it right up. And of course, we have a nice 3D rendering of the Equinox NCC 72381 U.S.S. Equinox. Looks really good. I love how this, I'm not sure what this is, like a sensor dish or something, or a secondary deflector. Not entirely sure. I bet the magazine could tell me. Profile U.S.S. Equinox NCC 72381, Master Systems Display, designing the ship, Voyager's journey, and on screen. And there we, of course, have our stand instructions, as we always like, and a nice frontal orthographic view of the Equinox. You see, it looks kind of a lot like the Sovereign class, and I believe this was like an early model, or one of the early models for it. NCC 72381, it's a Nova class built in Utopia Planitia shipyards. It launched in 2370. It destroyed in 2376 at a length of 221.74 meters, 8 decks and 80 crew, warp 8 of maximum speed, and Type XB phasers, photon torpedo launchers ×2, and Captain Rudolph Ransom the Third. Wonder what happened to the other two. And then we have a nice shot of the Equinox right there. And of course, this is the battle damaged Equinox. You can see it's all beat up. Got some nice hull damage right there, some right back there. At U.S.S. Equinox, NCC 72381, a small science vessel was ill-equipped for survival thousands of light years from Federation space, kind of like Voyager. And of course, there we have our shots from the episode of U.S. There's Captain Rudolph Ransom. There's the people he pissed off by taking their spirits or their other alien race, and there's it's getting the cell blown off. And let's move on. Of course, we have a nice L-cars of the Equinox. You can see just how that looks out. That looks really cool. I love the shuttle bay detail right back here. Again, this is really neat how they have that in there. And then, of course, what could you better than our L-cars, our orthographic displays. I'm going to look at what this is. Yeah, it's a secondary. Oh, it's a secondary deflector. So there we go. And I love this. This is absolutely too cool. You see, just a nice little short, stubby version of the Sovereign class. And then moving on, and we have a few other drawings of this ship designing the Equinox. The U.S.S. Equinox started out life as another tough little ship. Oh, it's the Defiant. Oh, well, that's kind of neat too. Okay, I knew it was like a precursor. It was based off a design of a precursor or something. Then, of course, we have a nice upper orthographic view of the battle damage she would have sustained in the Delta Quadrant. And then we, of course, have a few more. I believe this is Voyager in the episode Endgame. And then, of course, we have another thing from Equinox. And lastly, a lower orthographic view of the Equinox on the back. And that's it for the magazine. And of course, we start off with our stand instructions. We have our stand here. We have a peg right here. And this is one of the stands I didn't have to glue. And you just peg the stand right on there. And what you're going to do is you're just going to bring the Equinox over, and it has a nice big hefty saucer. And you're just going to plug it right on back there. And we'll lower the camera so you can kind of see. It looks like it's going off into outer space. And let's take a look at the Equinox front and center. And straight away, this model has some issues, and it's unfortunate. So right here, and it's really I kind of just noticed this before the review. I had this ship for a few years, but it has a nice big gap where the upper assembly meets the bottom, and that's how this is assembled. So it's kind of assembled right along. You can see the seam right along here, and you insert the bottom into the top. It looks like this is a bit of die cast. I can feel it. Another problem is, I'm going to show you if you look straight at, yeah, you can see it. The cell that gets blown off is very wrong. In fact, I think, and it's not sitting on there properly. I'm trying to think if it's just the nacelle or if it's the whole. It looks like, yeah, it's the whole pylon that is wonky. You can see it in back. The whole pylon is absolutely shifted, and that is a shame, because I do think this is a really cool ship. And moving on to the positive, let's talk some positives about this, because it is a really good model. I probably just got a bad copy, but I do want to tell you this is a really nicely detailed model. So it looks like we got what might be a captain's yacht under here, which is really, really cool. It's outlined in silver, U.S.S. Equinox NCC 7231, and nice, easily visible text. You got some phaser strip detail along here outlined in red, and then of course you have the detail right here. It's like some circuitry or whatever. It looks really, really cool. Again, this thing's loaded with phaser banks. Got phaser banks here, man. For a science vessel, this thing is stacked on weapons, and the deflector is done in a nice kind of orangish color outlined in blue. Looks really, really good. The nacelles, now despite the lopsidedness, which you can't really tell too badly from the side, you do get some paint. It's a mix of painted for the Bassard collectors and transclear plastic on the warp coils. NCC 72381, again, lovely detail, lovely Federation pennant, and you got the little vent wings right there. If we move on to the nacelle pylons, you can see nice outlines of gray, more phaser strips going on. What the hell kind of science vessel is this? Oh, Jesus. Phaser strips along the back too. No wonder Voyager had a hard time with this thing. There's a shuttle bay in back, nice little, you can see it's like little garage door type deal. And then of course I think you got like a little back here. This kind of looks like the Voyager prototype with what they had going. Trying to look for impulse engines. I'm not sure if this is it. I forgot. I was just watching this episode the other day too, but I wasn't paying attention apparently. NCC 72381, and there we have the deflector dish. Really nicely detailed too. You got some nice orangish on there. More of these like panels, they look really, really good. And then of course you got some nice panel lining. You got the escape pods outlined in a very light dabble of gray. Bridge dome kind of enshrouded in here, and you got some nice gold detail back here. Some RCS thruster detail right on the back here. And yeah, overall, I mean, unfortunately, and it might just be a copy, there's a lot of shortcomings to this model for me personally, but I do like the ship, and I do think the model was headed in the right direction. I just kind of wish things were built up, and I don't really want to purchase the XL, and I will show you why in just a moment here when we get to comparisons. But there we have it for the Equinox. And yeah, let's do a comparison. And yes, I know I'm running a fool's errand, because I always say don't buy for scale from Eaglemoss. They don't scale, but these do actually scale pretty good. Up to the XL Voyager for comparison. You can see the Equinox fits almost pretty much inside. Actually, does fit inside Voyager's saucer, but you can just see this kind of looks like, now it says the Equinox is 221 meters. That Voyager was around like 300, so this looks a bit shy lengthwise on that comparison, but it looks, I mean, if you saw the episode, this actually looks pretty good. Let's get them both. Let me arrange my fingers, and we'll get them both from the front so you can see how that looks. And again, you got like Voyager and Equinox right there looking good. Get them from the top. Hold on, they are both very awkward ships. Yes, I know, you just put your, or maybe, oh, get them from the side there. There we go. Sorry about that. And I forgot we didn't get them from the side. And there we go from the side. And yeah, I mean, I really do dig this scale. I think this actually works very well. And that's why I didn't want to buy the XL, because I do like the Equinox, but I also like scale. That's why I don't buy the XL Defiant either. The current Defiant scales well, even though, yes, I say it before, scale is a fool's errand when dealing with the Eaglemoss, because they're not built to scale. But nevertheless, there you have a quick comparison to kind of see what's going on. So let's summarize, and there we have it for issue number 15 of the Eaglemoss Hero Collector official Starship Star Trek collection, the U.S.S. Eaglemoss, the Nova class. And yeah, overall, I think the model itself, if we're talking just generally the model, I really do like the model. I think it's got the right amount of weight, especially for the size of the ship. I love the details. I think it's got a lot of nice color palettes. I think the deflector, or the secondary deflector, excuse me, has a very nice subtle palette to it. I love the addition of these little gray molded in areas here. This thing has too many phaser strips for its own good. Good God, it's a science vessel, excuse me. But nevertheless, unfortunately, my model is just plagued with tons of issues. And again, your mileage may vary. I know that some of these Eaglemoss had issues, and this is just, unfortunately, I picked the bad apple this time. So I might actually be looking for another one of these in this scale in the future. Again, they do have an XL of this. I believe it is currently available on masterreplicas.com. Eaglemoss.com right now. So if you want that, you can check it out. Me personally, I prefer this scale in comparison to the XL Voyager. I think it's the right scale, and I think it works really well for my collection. And the model itself is well detailed enough to where I can appreciate it at this scale, unlike the Stargazer. So that being said, that is going to conclude this review. If you found this review fun and informative, consider hitting the like button down below. If you are new to the channel and just find this and find my review informative as well, consider subscribing to me down below. 435, and we are growing and growing, albeit a bit slowly, but that's okay. You know what? Good things, empires take time to build, and I'm so glad you could join me on this journey. Check out realmerch.com if you are interested, or Master Replicas if you'd like to buy this ship. I'll try to put a link down below to this exact ship if I find it before I post the video. And also consider following me on TikTok if you are currently on TikTok. I am doing short reviews of Transformers and Eaglemoss and other figures and collectibles that I come around, so give that a check out and let me know what you think. That being said, I have been FC Finch. Thank you so much for watching. Live long and prosper.